Welcome back to Yirara.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
Righto everyone, welcome back.
Hope you're keeping safe and keeping well out there and still practicing that social distancing. Okay, we're going to take a look at word of the day, and today's word is
Kaka,
meaning
brother.
Ora, Kaka, unta mora.
Ya, ayang amura.
Smile. What are you saying?
Kaka.
Kaga.
Kaka.
So remember to practice the word of the day is Kaka, meaning
Brother.
And we'll see you
Next
next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, let's rewatch our Marcus and his mates episode to remember the valuable lesson Marcus learned.
Well, we last saw Marcus in Robinson River, working at the Alpa store with his Uncle Dan. Marcus learned some very valuable lessons about how to read a calendar. Now today, Marcus and his uncle were heading to the Hermannsburg General Store. So, Marcus had settled in well in Hermannsburg. His uncle had shown him some special jobs that he could do to help him out, and he was enjoying working with his uncle. Now, time was passing as Marcus was working, and it was 9 o'clock. Just about that time, Marcus's Uncle Dan pulled him aside and explained to Marcus that he is entitled to take a break at 10:30. Marcus wasn't really sure what 10:30 meant, but he kept working and assumed it was 10 o'clock. Well, Uncle Dan got to work, and time quickly passed from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, Marcus decided to take his break. Uncle Dan didn't know about this, and he was working in his office and kept thinking that Marcus was still in the store. Meanwhile, Marcus quickly made a getaway to take a much-needed break, or so he thought. At 10:15, Uncle Dan still thought that Marcus was in the shop. Well, Marcus was not in the shop. Instead, he popped into the local servo and grabbed a nice bucket of hot chips, which happened to be his favorite. The time was now 10:15. Well, Uncle Dan thought that it was quite quiet on the floor and decided to go check up on Marcus and see how he was going. Now, Uncle Dan did not know that Marcus had left, so when he entered the shop, he came to quite a shocking fright. Marcus was nowhere to be seen. Uncle Dan was quite frustrated. When Marcus did finally get back at 10:30, he soon found that his uncle was not in the best of moods, but he didn't know why. "Marcus, I told you to take a break at 10:30. Marcus looked up at him and shrugged. "I did. I took it at 10. At that moment, Uncle Dan soon realized that Marcus had made a mistake. "Marcus, 10:30 does not mean 10 o'clock. "What?" Marcus exclaimed. Uncle Dan took Marcus into his office and began explaining that 10:30 means that 30 minutes have gone past in the hour of 10. On an analog clock, the minute hand would be pointed at a 6, and on a digital clock, there will be an hour and 30 minutes at the end. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and the boss shows up and gives you a thumbs up. He says, at 2:15, you can take a break. You nod your head, and you get back to work as he leaves.
Well, time passes, and it's 2 o'clock. When you take a look at the time, you remember that your boss said he was going to be back at 2:15, or 15 minutes past 2, which means the long hand will be pointed at the 3. Well, 2:15 eventually arrives, and your boss is very happy that you waited the entire time. He then says that you can take a break.
We are going to look at some important phrases we use when we are telling the time. Those phrases are 10:30, 15:15, or 15:45. Now you may have heard people use those phrases before. What do they mean?
1 hour. When we use the phrase half past, we mean that only half of that hour has gone by, and half of an hour is equal to 30 minutes. On an analog clock, you'll see the minute hand will be pointed at the 6. Let's spell it. HALFPAST. Now, the next phrase is a quarter past. In our 1 hour of 60 minutes, a quarter of that hour is equal to 15 minutes. So, when 15 minutes has gone by on our clock, the minute hand will be pointed at the 3. Let's spell it. QUARTER. PAST. Quarter past. Our last phrase is quarter to. Just like a quarter means 15 minutes, it means that there's 15 minutes left until the next hour begins. And the minute hand will be pointed at the 9. Let's spell it. QUARTERO.
It's nearly 3:15 here. Do you remember what that means? It means it's 3:15.
Hi everyone, this is Miss Deb.
Hi everyone, this is Miss Andrea.
Hi everyone, Miss Flo here.
Hi, it's Miss Emily.
And Miss Katie.
We've been doing procedural writing now for 3 weeks. And I would like to know, what do you think are the most important things we want the students to remember? Miss Deb, do you think you can let us know on that one?
The main thing is we want them to understand about procedural writing and its importance because, well, the procedures we've looked at were cleaning teeth, getting ready for school, collecting witchetty grubs, making a cup of tea, making and icing a cake, and then creating and mailing that card. And so as I've watched the other videos from the other classes, you see how many times procedures used, like Tom making the drum kit out of junk.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was great. And then the kick pedal, that was so precise and that was really good. And of course Leanne with her science experiments, you know, the floating tea bag and the volcano, they looked really good. And then Dave instructing on how to get your car ready for a trip. I'm sure that there are lots of other things that our students could think about.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, after doing this course, I'm really surprised at how much we do use procedure in everyday life. What about if you have to make a coffee in the staff room? Also, like when you made your tea, if you do it wrong, it's no good. So lastly, something that's really important when you're looking after your family is taking medicine. You know, when you have the instructions on the side, how many tablets you take, when you take them. So in all, I hope we've given them some good learning tips.
Well, now that we've come to the end of all of it, like Miss Andrea said, what do you think? Shall we give the students out there a challenge?
I think so.
You think they'll be able to write or record themselves doing a procedure? You think they're up to? Let's give them some ideas. Right, you mob out there, you've had a few challenges from the Clontarf mob. Now we are giving you a challenge. See if you can either write or record yourself doing a procedure. Now there's a few things you can do, but you can also choose your own. So, what do you do when you get ready for a footy game? How do you make your bed in the morning? What do you do when you go shopping? Unpacking the groceries, packing the groceries. When you go out camping, you need a fire. What do you do? Changing a tire. Oh boy, you out in the outback, you driving, you get a flat tire. What do you do? What's first, what's second? That's all from us here. When you see us again, we'll be seeing something totally different. See you.
Hi guys, today we're going to learn about how to cut vegetables up. First, we need to start off with how to hold a knife properly. When you're holding your knife, first finger there, your thumb on one side, and then your other 3 fingers underneath. That gives you a nice secure hold. With your other hand, the hand that holds your vegetables, you need to get a little claw grip. Bend it over like that, tips down, so that when you're on the bench, it's nice and firm. With your other knife, with your hand, you're going to just rub the knife up and down on the knuckle. That way, when you're cutting down the vegetables, you've got a guide. We'll start with cutting up some celery. I like to get the celery at a nice width, so it's not too big when we're cutting. Lay the celery on its flat side, curl your fingers, holding your knife properly. We're just going to cut little juliennes. Juliennes are little sticks in vegetables. Just like that. So that's a julienne. Now we're going to dice. We're going to turn them around the other way. Using the knuckle of our hand, guiding the knife. Lovely. So you can cut lots of celery up all at once. You just need to turn it around. Same thing with the way you're going to hold your knife and your hand and slowly cut through. Just use your pinky and your thumb to hold the whole lot. Just take your time, there's no rush. And just finish it like that. When you're scraping your vegetables off the board, make sure you use the bottom of your knife. And you can pick it up and pop it in. The other thing we're going to cut up is carrots. So with your carrot, same deal, you're still going to hold your hand and your knife properly, cut off the top and the bottom. The carrots are a bit tricky. They roll around backwards and forwards, so you just want to make your first cut down the middle. Be really careful, straight down, solid cut. That will give you a flat surface on the bottom of the carrot to stop the carrot from rolling everywhere. Again, like the celery, do a little cut straight down. Use the edge of your knuckle to guide the knife down. Then you can just turn the carrot around and slice through using the knuckle of your finger. Make sure you use the bottom of your knife. The last thing we've got to do is an onion. I already started the onion, but I've did some slices through it, ready for dicing, exactly like the celery and the carrot. We just turn it around, same thing, nice and slowly. And you can just lay it flat. Pop it in your bowls. And that's our vegetables cut up, ready for next session. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Miss Chris from the Christian Studies team. Thanks for joining us on Yirara2u. I hope you're all well, learning lots and sharing stories with your family. Last time we had the story of Jesus sending out the disciples to villages or communities to tell everyone about God's love. After his death and resurrection, just before Jesus went back into heaven to be with his Father, he met with the disciples and told them two things. Firstly, something they should go and do, and secondly, he gave them a promise. Let's read from Matthew 28. Then the disciples went to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw Jesus, they worshipped him. They were still amazed to see him alive again after dying on the cross. Jesus said to them, "All authority has been given to me. Together with God, I'm the boss of heaven and earth. Firstly, go and make disciples of all nations, from all the language groups, from all the communities. Baptize them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Teach them to do everything I have told you to do. Secondly, you can be sure, I promise that I am always with you to the very end of the world." Then Jesus went up into heaven to be with his Father. Have you had an invitation to a party or a senior formal or some other special occasion? We've all been given an invitation to be part of God's family. When we become part of God's family, we are his disciples, and he asks us to pass the invitation on to other people. We can pass the invitation on when we share God's love by helping one another, caring for family, or doing our best work at school or whatever job we do. Maybe you can spread the good news by sharing this story with your family or reading it again from a Bible in your language. Something to think about. What is Jesus asking you to do? Until next time, take care and remember that Jesus is with you. He is with you all the time, in the happy times, the sad times, and the hard times too.
Let us bow our heads and pray. Today I ask that you guide us to be settled and calm, that you give us courage and strength, and bless us with protection as we continue on the path of knowledge. We thank you for each day that is given to us as we learn and grow together. One family, God's family. Amen.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I am the agri-foods trainer. I'm here with Kate today and we're going to be learning how to plant seedlings, or seeds. Righto. So, how do we get started? We have already got some potting mix in our pots, which you can buy from Bunnings, which is nice and easy to get. We've filled them up nearly all the way to the top. Now we're going to put our seeds in. So, before we start, we'll have a look on the back here, and it tells us how deep we need to put the seeds into the soil.
Okay.
So here, we need to put them in 5 centimetres deep. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to use our little finger, and we are going to poke a hole in to each of them. Perfect, just like that. Alright. So we're only going to put 1 seed in per pot. We're just going to tear the top of this bag off.
Right. Pour them into our hand?
Yeah, I'm just going to give you some seeds, so that should be enough. Just going to put those there. Alright, so I'll give you half. And we are just going to take 1 seed and put it in each pot into the hole that we've just made. Perfect. Want to do that one? And did we get that one there? Yes. Wonderful. Alright, so if you've got any left over, we'll just put them back into the bag and fold over the top, otherwise we might spill them everywhere. Alright, so now that we've done that, we are just going to cover over the hole with our finger. We're not going to press the soil down, we're just going to leave it nice and loose so that the seedling can grow up through that soil easily. Wonderful. So now all we have to do is give them a water and wait for the seeds to germinate.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
Okay, today's drawing exercise, you'll see that I'm drawing a face, but this time I've printed off a picture and I'm going to do a profile drawing. So a profile is a picture of the face from the side. I've set this up just doing some lines over the top, so I'm just using those construction lines, but you're free to print out a picture from the internet. You'll also notice that I printed out a black and white picture, and I've done this because this makes the next step really easy, where I've chosen 3 different colors, and I'm going to look at the darker tones and the lighter tones and use my darker pencil to do the darker tones and the lighter pencil to do the lighter tones, and then something in the middle to do those mid-tones. So here I am just adding the colour. After I've sketched very lightly in grey lead pencil or traced, I can now start looking for the darkest tones, and I've used a blue pencil to shade the dark areas on the photo. And you can do this too. You can print off a picture of your favourite basketball player or favourite person, or you can take a picture and look for the darkest tones and those areas where the light reflects the lighter tones. I've used a yellow pencil to start filling in. So it's just a different approach to drawing a portrait from the side, and that is called a profile. So just have a play around with your pencils, but I suggest for this exercise that you just pick 3 colours, a dark, a really light, and something in the middle, and have a go at shading your black and white photo just using those 3 colours. And even though I drew mine, you're more than welcome to trace just by sticking your black and white image to the window and using the light just to trace the outline of the face. So that's it for this week. Hope some of you have a go, and if you do, I'd love for you to send me in a photo of your finished portrait. That would be great. And you can do that just by messaging on Facebook or sending through to either myself or your teacher. So have a go at drawing the face from the side using 3 different coloured pencils for shading the darkest and the lightest areas. And that's my portrait.
Woulda, welcome back. Let's take a look at week 3's words.
Mia, meaning
Mother.
Aknia, meaning
Father.
Kaka, meaning
Brother.
Yaya, meaning
Sister.
And so that's our words for the week. Let's have a go at home.
Let's take a look at week 3's words. This week we've been learning about relationships. Our first word is
Mia,
meaning mother,
Aknia,
meaning father,
Kaga,
meaning brother,
Yaya.
meaning sister. After completing your worksheet of Aranda words, we would like for you, in your language, to share with us, either write or send us a video speaking your language and sharing mother, father, brother, sister. Or write it in your language, mother, father, brother, sister. We look forward to receiving your videos or a photo of your worksheet. Stay safe.
Look after your family.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.